Hello, hello. Good morning, traders. How are we doing today? It's Friday. It's been a good week. We had non-farm payrolls this morning. Markets sold off initially, but they surely don't seem to care now. Holy moly, what a day. Big move. How are you guys doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. There are already questions in the chat. Quick SPY analysis. T-Doc analysis. What's up, Dix Des Moines? What's up, Chewy? What's up, Dr. Dodo? Hope you guys are well. Sure, we can do all those things. We can talk about everything. Start with SPY. I like to take a top-down approach. So we're going to zoom out to the monthly here. Where are we at? We are now just 4.39% from the all-time highs. Holy cow. Take a look, quick look at seasonality. 68% win rate in December. Mean change in December over the past, what? 20 odd years since 93. 0.48%. Imagine we're already there. Seventy percent win rate for this week. That win rate goes down over the next two. So something to keep in mind. Zoom in a little to the weekly here. So have we gained the July highs? Yeah. We haven't, like, maybe we haven't gained them. But darn it, we are trading above them. That's a first. Let's go down to the daily here. I mean, this is a big, big, big spot. We're actually gaining those July highs. So then the next spot you really have to look at is over here. The 2021, the all-time highs. Let's throw up some chart patterns. See what the platform sees. I'm just going to turn them all on. How are you guys doing today? Are you guys trading well today? All right, so a couple of these things are not so relevant. This broadening pattern is kind of interesting. Let's turn off the head and shoulders guy there. Actually, I guess we could turn off the inverse one too. So you've got this daily trend line, top of which is at like 463.84. That could be a potential spot. You've got these highs as well. Kind of aligns with the top of that trend line. But what it certainly feels like to me, if we're gaining July highs, then keep an eye on these March 2022 highs. That could be a next spot where they could potentially take stops. You probably got some shorts who have stops above that high. They could take stops there, potentially. They may not. They may bust right through it. They may not ever get there. Who knows? But that would be another spot I'd be keeping an eye on. And then finally, this big guy right in here. 473.42. Now, those are some levels above. What about levels below? I'm going to go to a slightly smaller time frame. So it's still the same idea. You know, I see, personally, if they did want to pull this thing back, I see a little shoulder and a head kind of in here. Turn off these chart patterns. So at some point, if they ever decide that they want to reverse this thing for a little while, you got a couple of different potential left shoulders. You got this guy, right here, 433 or so. And you got this guy 420. It's shoot. I mean, I don't know, 30 bucks from here, 40 bucks from here. So this little zone, potential buy zone if they do end up pulling back at some point. If they're going to do that, I don't know. We could take a look at where some of our fancy indicators are. See if we could see anything, any divergences or anything. Let's take a look. I'll throw RSI. I'll throw MACD. Maybe stochastics. Let's see. Maybe a 200-day. See where these things are. So you've got on the daily, you've got a bearish MACD cross over the past couple of days. There is a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but there is, and you can see it across all of these. On the stochastics, you can see it. On MACD, you can see it. On RSI, you can see it. We are making new highs. Higher highs. And you've got higher, or rather lower highs on RSI. You got a lower high on MACD. Now this is on the daily. Keep this in mind. This is the daily. Even stochastics. So you've got divergence, bearish divergence across, you know, a handful of different indicators, which could definitely suggest some cool off at some point. But we've been seeing these divergences, you know, it hasn't been uncommon. We've been seeing them. We've been kind of noting them. And the market has not been really respecting them at all. Market's just been kind of gaining regardless. Remember, price can correct over time too, right? Just kind of throwing up a few different moving averages to see kind of where things are. Actually, let's do this. Just throw up a ribbon here. This is the 100. Yeah, so right now, all of your moving averages in nice alignment from shortest to longest. This is the 5, the 10, the, what else is in here? The 20, the 50, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 in beautiful alignment from shortest to longest, top to bottom. So this could be something you can keep an eye on. You know, if the 5 ends up crossing down, you start getting, like we saw some divergence here, right? You're making new highs, but you saw divergence on RSI. You saw divergence on stochastics. A little bit of divergence as well in MACD. You had a negative across down. So perhaps we're seeing something similar to what we saw here back in July. That same sort of idea where we're making new highs, but the indicators are not agreeing. There is that potential. I don't know if that's going to happen. What charting platform is this? Really? It's TrendSpider. What are you doing here, Ari? We can pop over to the Qs real quick and see if the Qs are kind of saying the same thing. Yeah, Qs are kind of a little... well, I don't know. Maybe they're not. Let's remove this. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely... Honestly, there's like some really big divergences here on the daily. From those July highs to now, we've definitely put in a new high, but we did not put in a new high on RSI, did not put in a new high in MACD. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, it's really hard to say. Let's check seasonality. So seasonality in December, 52% win rate. Not as good. Mean change, quite lower than last month. So yeah, all right. Well, welcome, Ari. Pleasure to have you. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions about TrendSpider, feel free to hit me up and let me know. My name is Jason Krutzky, and this is what we do here at Office Hours. We answer TrendSpider related questions, and we look at charts and kind of try and gain an understanding of what's going on the chart. So yeah, so Dick's Des Moines. That's kind of where my head's at. On the daily, you do have a few signs that this might be weakening as we're making these new highs. Weekly looking not awful, though. Weekly looking pretty darn strong. You had a recent MACD cross up, suggesting bullish continuation. RSI, a little bit of divergence on RSI, a little bit. We'll have to see how the next couple weeks play out. But, you know, we definitely have made a new high this week. And we definitely did not make a new high in RSI. So potentially some of the strength is waning as we're getting into these new highs. But again, all of your moving averages in alignment here as well. Good sign for the bulls. That's what you want to see. Proper uptrend. Yeah, no problem at all. Chewy, I don't know if you're here. Actually, before we get into another question, if you're here, say hello, introduce yourself. I'd love to know who you are. Where are you tuning in from? Let me know if you are currently a TrendSpider trader or not. It's very important to me. Do you utilize TrendSpider in your day-to-day analysis, or are you kind of on the fence? Are you thinking about getting an account with us? Is that why you're here? To kind of understand if you might want to get an account? What is this music I'm listening to? Some cheesy sounding stuff. Let me switch this up. Yeah, so if you're here, say hello. Chewy, is there a scanner for the GoNoGo indicator? There is not a scanner for GoNoGo right now. We are in the process. I don't know how much I can speak about this. That's not a big deal. We are in the process of bringing a bunch of new GoNoGo indicators to the platform, actually. They will not be launched until we're thinking maybe January, but it's like a whole suite of GoNoGo indicators coming, which is pretty cool. I'm learning about them now. And we're gonna be digging in with the boys from GoNoGo, they've got quite a few new videos put together for y'all, so you can understand how to use the indicators. And then I'm gonna be making one with them as well, kind of like their videos are pretty long. I'm gonna be making a little condensed one. As far as can you build a scanner for GoNoGo? Well, what's tricky about building a scanner for GoNoGo, if there isn't one, because there isn't one, what's tricky is the secret sauce that makes the GoNoGo the GoNoGo. Now, they kind of hint about some of the indicators that are contained within that thing, but I don't know all of them. So you could probably surmise some of it. Like, you could put together a few of their thoughts, I'm sure. And then you could define those things in the scanner, be it a MACD condition or an RSI condition or what have you. You know, it might be kind of interesting. Let's do this. I'm not going to try and, you know, fully understand everything about the indicator. Or I'm not going to try and debunk the indicator. But we know that it includes a lot of common indicators. And they talk about quite a few of the common indicators that they pay attention to in all of their source material. So what I would do if I were you is I would kind of watch some of that source material. We know that they use RSI. We know they use MACD. We know that they use Donchian channels for defining new highs or new lows. So that's how I would be thinking about it. Chewy, if you are here. I don't know if you're here. Actually, I'd be curious to know, like, the Dr. Dodo and Chewy, y'all's comments were in the chat long before I went live. So were you just trying to get questions in? Are you guys here? If y'all are here, let me know. Why not? Tuning in from the road? You're driving and watching this? You're seriously committed to the live stream. I'm honored. Hopefully you're paying more attention to the road than you're paying attention to this live stream. Did you have anything you were curious about? Why not? Any questions I could help answer? Interesting. Spy putting in a lower high here. There are 10 of you here, and I've only talked to 3 of you. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. So what brings you guys here today? How can I assist you? Do you want me just to cruise around on charts and look at whatever I might be interested in, or do you guys have specific questions? Can we scan for GoNoGo? Chewy, did you just arrive? Because I just answered this. I just spent 5 minutes talking about this. If you just got here, I will re-explain. Chewy, it is not possible. Dropping kids off, almost home. Just here to be a sponge. Right on. Why not? Good for you. Chewy, it is not possible to scan for GoNoGo. No, that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not possible to scan for GoNoGo. Whether or not that functionality will come in the future, I am completely uncertain. It would be really cool if we could. There is another indicator. Well, actually, before I get into talking about the other indicator, let's talk about a little bit more about GoNoGo. What I said earlier was we are going to be launching a suite of GoNoGo indicators at the top of next year. And perhaps when that suite comes along, maybe scanning will come along for it too. I really don't know. I can't tell you for sure that that's going to happen, but perhaps it will. In the meantime, what I would recommend to you, because you were asking about, can we build it? Well, in order to build it, we would have to know all of the components that are contained within GoNoGo. And, you know, I don't know all of those components. I know the components that the boys at GoNoGo talk about. You know, they talk about MACD, they talk about RSI, they talk about stochastics, they talk about Dungeon channels. And so what I would kind of recommend you do, and I know that there is more than that in GoNoGo. I want to say it's like 10 or 12 indicators are contained within GoNoGo. But I also know that they utilize some of the most common stuff that all traders are looking at. And the idea behind it is that they compress all that stuff into one thing to give you just like a very simple signal. So what I would recommend you do, Chewy, in the interim, while we await to see if GoNoGo indicators will be scannable. Actually, you know what? Let me do this too. Let me very quickly contact our head dev. I'm going to ask him real quick. All right, so I've just asked him. I'll let you know. I'll report back and let you know what he says. But in the meantime, check out some of their source material. Like they have videos on YouTube that talk about GoNoGo. And again, they don't tell you what all is in it, but they tell you that it contains a lot of the most common indicators that traders use. they mention a good handful of those common indicators. You've been on the stream many times with me before. I'm not going to get too deep into, because it's their thing. I don't want to impinge on it. But is that the right word? I don't want to step on their toes and go trying to figure out everything about the indicator. But you know how we do this before, or you know how we've done this before. When we don't know how an indicator works, throw it up on our chart, see what price action does, see what that indicator does relative to the price action. Well, you can throw GoNoGo on your chart, and you can throw RSI on your chart, and you can throw MACD on your chart, and you can kind of see what's going on with MACD when these colors change, what's going on with RSI when these colors change. Is there anything that we can point to specifically? That would be my first line of thought for you when it comes to, can we... Oh, there's a bunch of new people here. Thank you all for being here. Please say hello. Let me know why you're here. If you have questions about TrendSpider, please post them in the chat. We're here answering questions. So yeah, but yeah, Chewy, that's how I would be looking at it, man. I would be trying to suss this thing out on my own using what I know they are paying attention to. And again, I'll let you know what our dev team says about whether or not it will be scannable in the future. Now, the next thing that I wanted to show you, I'm going to put on a second chart here. And I'm going to turn off all of this stuff except for the GoNoGo. And I'm going to add a Chande absolute trend strength indicator. I'm going to turn this off. All right. So check this out. Our good friend, Mr. Tushar Chande, the man is a brilliant man. He has developed a ton of indicators that you're familiar with. If you're not familiar with him and his work, look him up, Tushar Chande. He launched this brand new Chande absolute trend strength indicator with us maybe a couple of months ago. And if you'll notice what this indicator does and how it looks compared to your GoNoGo, they're not exactly the same, but they are pretty darn close. And though I'm not suggesting, like I said, I'm not suggesting that they're doing the exact same thing. And I'm also not suggesting that they use all of the same indicators, because I don't think that they do, because they're not exactly the same. But they do kind of tend to track very similarly. Kind of see dark purple, right? Bright green, bright blue. And you can define the Chande absolute trend strength indicator for sure. So the way that you would define the Chande absolute trend strength indicator inside of your scanner, I'm going to go back to one chart here and just turn it on. There is a secondary, version of this indicator, the lower version. And essentially what the lower one does, the lower one is just a oscillator, essentially, that oscillates between these low values. Salute. What's up, Deep Dive? How's it going? Hope you're well. The lower indicator is just oscillating between oversold and overbought. Now, oversold and overbought does not... Ooh, yeah, let me tell you. There you go. Tushar Chande. I'll send you this too. Hold on, because I made a video with him. Give me 1 second so that y'all can reference this in the future. I mean, I will do my best to explain it here for you as well. So one thing about this indicator, when you are into these overbought or oversold conditions, these are not times to be selling or buying, right? You should not be selling when it's in this overbought condition, because this is actually, it's not overbought. It's like the trend is strong. So above 70, your trend is really strong, and you should essentially be sticking with it, right? You should be staying long, kind of like how those dark or those bright blue bars on the GoNoGo are your sign that you're in a very strong trend. You don't want to be shorting in a very strong trend. You want to be looking for instances where you're breaking down below that 70 level, right? Same is true for a downtrend. If you're below this negative 70 level, that's kind of strong downtrend conditions. So you should be like leaning into those strong downtrend conditions. And what this lower indicator allows us to define, since it's just a very simple value, it's just a number, I can define things with it. So I've pre-built some scans. They're available in the platform. Chat's strong uptrend breakdown, Chat's strong downtrend breakout. So a strong downtrend breakout is moving from this negative 70 to greater than negative 70, right? It's just it's just that strong downtrend is changing. And the same thing is true for strong uptrend breakdown, just in reverse. It's going from above positive 70 to less than 70. So we can go ahead and I'll just scan for something real quick. This also defines that it's been in this strong uptrend or this strong downtrend for a decent period of time. So here we've got a handful of names meeting this criteria. This one looks pretty interesting to me. And what we'll do, now that we know what this looks like, right? You're seeing is breaking down. That color's changing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go add a secondary chart, and I'm going to throw up the GoNoGo here. So GoNoGo is still flashing like a sort of strong, like it's not telling you to short just yet. It's telling you to kind of be on your toes, right? The strong uptrend is weakening. So perhaps maybe what we need to do is we need to utilize like some alternative values. Maybe there's a way to kind of to guess the GoNoGo, maybe like the orange to green flip by using chats, right? We know that chats, the zero line is the median, right? So that would kind of be like orange for GoNoGo. So you could say something like, let's do it. We'll say indicator daily chats. Index is within range of a constant value of 0 by, let's say, 2%. I don't know if we're going to find anything in the 30. Probably not. All that stuff's probably pretty strong right now. I'm just going to not even bother. Let's see. Let's check the 500. Let's see. I'm guessing here, you guys, just so you know. Chewy, I'm totally guessing here about how this could work. But since I know that they kind of are doing something similar, they're utilizing a lot of indicators to define trend and trend strength. So I'm thinking that we might be able to do this. I think I've used the wrong. Let me see something real quick. What am I doing here? It's been a moment since I've used this, or since I made these. Okay, so it is the index. All right, so let me do this. So I'm gonna say, I don't know, let's say 2 hour. I think we'll have a little bit more luck if we go to a smaller time frame. Index is within range of a constant value of 0 by plus or minus 1%. Let's see if we find anything. Nothing in the 30. Let's try a different index. Again, today might be too strong of a day to be looking for this low of a value. That's okay. We'll find something. There's got to be something out there. Wow. Let's check the NMS. Hey, Kevin, what's up, man? I'm so glad that you're enjoying the lives. We're going to keep them coming. You guys seem to like them. They're consistently growing. So that's great. All right, let's try 5% instead of 1%. Let's give it a little bit more wiggle room. Seriously? Nothing? This is crazy. I cannot believe it. That's really hard to believe. That is insane. I'm shocked. Let's try 10%. Excuse me. Wow. That's really surprising to me. Okay. Let's try a 15-minute. Chat's index is less than a constant value of 20. Let's do this. Let's give it a little window. 15-minute chats index is greater than a constant value of -20. So it's somewhere in the range. I could have done that with the plus or minus, but whatever. All right, so now we're getting a bunch of names back. You can see where the index line is, right? It's pretty much at like neutral. So then the next step here is let me turn on GoNoGo, turn off chats. All right, interesting. Some of these I'm not going to pay a ton of attention to because they are not very highly traded, not very liquid names. All right, so this 0 level, above the 0 level, seems to find us mostly. Some of these names are just total garbage. Let me go and try just a bigger index. Yeah, okay. This is better. Interesting. All right, so maybe, maybe my assumption was wrong here, because check this out. You are at, what, -11 on this one, and you're that aqua color. So that's that's a go trend. That's not a strong go, but that's a go. The EXC here, we are in no-go. We're not strong no-go, but we're in no-go, which is that pink, and we're at -23. So that's a couple, 12 points lower. But then here, we're at 5.28 in your orange, which is go fish, which is like the median. But then here, -20, and we're go. And then here we're strong. Interesting. So they are actually, I'm gonna rescind my assumption that they are very similar and say they are not very similar. We're getting totally different readings here. I thought that maybe we could like guesstimate loosely. Let's do this. Let's say 5 and -5. Maybe that's too big of a window. I don't know. All right, so we're orange, we're blue, we're orange, we're pink, we're blue, we're pink, we're aqua, for between 5 and 5. All right, let's say 1 and -1. I don't know. You gotta just try things, right? Because you just don't. I don't know. What's up, Samuel? Hope you're well. Cheers to you. Happy Friday. Yeah, well, I guess I was wrong. Frankly. They are quite different in their readings. I mean, clearly a very strong go is going to be pretty much above 70. So if I were just to say simply that chats is greater than constant value of 70, my guess is we're not going to find anything that isn't blue. There's blue. That's all right. That one's aqua. This one's blue. This one's blue. That one's aqua. This one's blue. So you see what I'm getting at here. Above 70, maybe we say above, I don't know, 75. You might be able to filter this out. Like the strong blues using a chat's number, maybe 80. Let's push it to 90. Yeah, even at 90, it's getting a little bit of a mixed. I mean, they're all go or strong go. This one's a mix. And then if I were to say less than constant value of negative 90, I'm pretty much going to get purples, I would imagine. Yep, purple, 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 and so on. So these are all purples below negative 90. So let's go strong uptrend breakdown and see again what we're looking at here. So this strong uptrend breakdown seems to be finding like strong blue to green. We're seeing those turns. So yeah, so that was a very long-winded way, Chewy, of getting to your question. Tool around with the chats indicator. See if you can find some alpha in there, utilizing it in tandem with your GoNoGo. You can also utilize the strategy tester. You can use chats in the strategy tester too, which is pretty sweet. Deep dive lot. You're exciting to trade crypto futures on Coinbase, just waiting on the spider price feeds. What do you mean the spider price feeds? Litecoin is paying out, but you can only trade spot and go long as a U.S. citizen. GZ, what's up? We got scanners that can search for lots of patterns, brother. So what I would do, first off, chart patterns, just so you know where they are. You got this button right here. I'm going to turn off my indicators just so we're only looking at chart patterns. Click on the three dots and you'll see all of the chart patterns that are available on the platform. Broadening patterns of all kinds. You've got channels, ascending, descending, horizontal. You've got double tops and bottoms. You got head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, ascending, descending symmetrical triangles, and then falling and rising wedges. Now, those are the patterns we can identify. Oh, GZ, sorry, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Now, inside visual scripts, let me show you something. If you wanted to do like, if you wanted to define wedge, well, hold on. Actually, you know what? They might all be here. In your scanner, type in the name of the pattern that you're looking for. Type in symmetrical, and you're going to get symmetrical triangle breakdown, symmetrical triangle break up, symmetrical triangle in force. Type in broadening. You'll see all of the sample things that we have here. There are a lot of them. Broadening exists, any, in force. Broadening exists, any. Broadening exists, ascending, asymmetrical, and so on. So let's say you're looking for like falling wedge breakouts. Type in falling. Here's your falling wedge breakout. Run that scan. Let me just turn on the falling wedges here. Make sure I have falling wedges turned on. All right. There's your falling wedge. There's your breakout. Falling wedge, breakout. Falling wedge, breakout. How many years can you search back to? Well, that depends on... this is interesting. Oh, I see. Let's turn the current candle on. Perhaps this could be the problem here. How many years can you search back? It depends on the time frame. And when you say search back, can you like explicitly define what you mean by search back? So anyway, I'm showing you this because this is going to be possible for pretty much any of the patterns that we have. Really, any of the patterns that we have on the platform, you can run scans on them. So just define the pattern setup that you're thinking about wanting to find, and it's probably pre-built. I would go so far as to say it is pre-built. Unless you're getting like very, very specific, then you might have to make one on your own. And if you have something very specific that you're looking for, let me know. I can help you walk you through how to script it. If there is something specific that we don't offer. Bitcoin USD Coinbase on TrendSpider is different than the futures contract price on Coinbase. Huh. Deep dive. I'm going to send this to our customer feedback channel. I'll let the dev team look into that. You intend to find certain patterns, particular for the market downturns during the recessions. Got it. Makes sense. So you can look back about 2,200 candles on any time frame. Now, 2,200 candles on the weekly is a long time, right? 2,200 candles on the daily is what? There's like 250 days a year, 250 trading days. So about 10 years of data on the daily. However, you can utilize the strategy tester. In the strategy tester, you can look back up to 7,000 candles on any time frame. So it just depends on exactly how you are defining search back. If you're defining, I want to like literally grab the chart and pull and go further back in time, then it's going to be about 2,200 candles on any time frame. If you're talking about testing a strategy, then you can look back up to 7,000 candles on any time frame. Does that kind of answer your question, GZ? Can you code it yourself? Yeah. Yeah, so everything on TrendSpider is no code. We have a bunch of pre-built things that you can utilize in visual scripts. So like, type in MACD or something here, and you're going to get a list of different MACD conditions. MACD negative, MACD positive, MACD curling up, curling down, cross up, cross down, and then, some additional things. Bullish MACD divergence, bearish MACD divergence, right? All of these things are pre-built for you. You might have to adjust them to your particular needs, but these are pre-built for you. And you can, like, if you wanted to sell a cross down, buy a cross up, you would select this cross down option and send it to your back tester as an entry condition. So I just sent those conditions to my strategy tester. And then I could come over here, or actually I could go back to visual scripts if I want to, and I could say MACD, cross up, grab this one, and I could send this to the exit, right? And I would just change long only to short only. And there you go. There's your MACD cross, bearish MACD cross short strategy on the WBA weekly chart. Actually works quite good compared to the asset. Wow. And And, you know, extrapolate that out to time frames and different types of conditions. We have something built for every major indicator you could think of. You know, we didn't build for every indicator on the platform, but every indicator that you know of, I would imagine, that's on the platform. All of the most common ones, we've got pre-built stuff for that you can grab in the script manager if you want to, or you can build it out yourself. I'll show you really quickly. So to build it out yourself, a couple different things you can do. We have the GPT conditions. This is using ChatGPT to create scripts for us using just plain language. This works for price conditions and indicator conditions. So I could say like, I don't know, close greater than SMA 200. And say apply, and it's going to build that condition for me. Price close greater than SMA. Oh, it didn't get the 200 length, so I got to just change that length. I can also go to add a parameter here and say condition, and then essentially this just like walks me through that whole scripting process. I define the type of condition I want to define, whether it's a price condition, indicator condition, candlestick pattern condition. Let's say I want to define hammer candles. I say candlestick pattern. I could come in here and type in hammer, select it, and now I'm saying that part of my entry condition here is a hammer on the weekly. Same is true for all these. Price high, greater than, price low. Right? That's a green. That would just be a green candle. Your high is greater than your low. Well, I guess it wouldn't necessarily be a green candle. And I guess this is super logical. Let's say, I don't know. You could do all kinds of things here. Say whatever you want to say. Script it however you want to script it. Define whatever you want to define. It's Friday. A little foggy this morning. TNX. Do you feel like you've got it, GZ? Does that make sense to you? Let's take a look at this 10-year treasury note. Ah, back to those highs, huh? Yeah, I mean, this seems like a pretty logical place to potentially catch a bid. You said sequential. I've never used sequential counts. And you said order blocks too, huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic spot to catch a bid. For sure. Okay, cool, GZ. If you, some other resources for you, just so you know, you can go to the TrendSpider University videos. And there's some additional like strat tester scripting. You can find there. We have videos on both of those topics as well. But I am here to answer questions. So if you have any other questions, do not hesitate to hit me with them. Yeah, that's an interesting. Interesting looking chart, Chewy. What does the X1 mean? Because again, I do not have a clue about sequential count. It's one thing that I've never spent any time trying to figure out. We do know how rates affect Mr. Market. But what's the story with the 9x1? Is that saying that it's 9 and 1? Like it's the end of account and the beginning of account? Is that what that's saying? I don't get it. Because this is 1, 2. And also, why are these orange going up and green going down? Give me a little lesson. I want to learn something new, Chewy. I guess I could always just research it myself too. Which it seems I probably should do. Like, how would you define that? Is this the... what countdown is this? Chewy, are you going to keep the information to yourself? You're not going to tell anybody? Okay, so it's the buy countdown. So you would define this as buy countdown is equal to a constant value of 9, I suppose. Chewy's holding out on us. Chewy, regarding, I just spoke with our developer regarding GoNoGo scanning. I don't have good news. Doesn't seem that that's going to come. Maybe that'll change in the future. Right now, it sounds like it's not happening. But perhaps it'll change. All right. Chewy's holding out. He ain't giving us the goods on sequential count. So I'm going to push it back to you guys. What you got? Any questions? We got another about 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to be jumping on out of here unless you guys start hitting me with questions. Deep dive regarding your question about the pricing discrepancy. I have notified the team on that. If I hear back, I'll let you know. I know there have been issues with our crypto data vendor over the past couple of days. This week, there have been a handful of items that have been a little odd on their end. And we were working with them to resolve those problems. So maybe it has something to do with that. I'm really not certain. Yeah, no problem at all. Let's see real quick. So this thing says 43,845. Yeah, I see 43,844.57 on my Coinbase app. So looks like there's like a dollar discrepancy there. Could be a data vendor. It's a data vendor thing. Interesting. Never really paid that close attention to it. Yeah, I've mentioned it to them, so we'll see what they say. Or if it's related or not. Anybody have any questions? TrendSpider questions? If not, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to keep on with the rest of my day. What are you guys doing for the weekend? Any big plans? Can you believe we're like 2 weeks from Christmas? How is that possible? Where did this year go? Ah. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, so you can see there was an issue yesterday. Some missing data. You do not see gaps. GZ, right back at you. Time really flew. Yes, it did. This is last call. Last call. Last call for TrendSpider questions. If you got them, hit me with them. If not, then we're going to get out of here. Last weekend, I did a live on Saturday morning. This weekend, I will not be doing a live on Saturday morning. So if you got TrendSpider questions, now's the time to ask them. Otherwise, you won't get another chance until Monday. And then you'll get to ask them again. Anything y'all want to look at real quick before I get out of here? Going once, going twice. All right, if you guys got no more questions, then I'm going to get to step in. Real quick, though, before I leave, if you are enjoying these live streams, if you find them to be helpful, and you don't already subscribe to our channel, and you're here, what are you doing? Subscribe to this channel. Throw me some likes. Let me know. This is how y'all let me know that you appreciate these things. And this is how I get to keep doing them. If the numbers keep going up, then we get to keep doing these. And if the numbers do not keep going up, we don't get to keep doing these. So it is completely dependent on y'all. And the way the number keeps going up is you guys give me likes and subscribes. So hit me with them. I hope that everybody has an awesome weekend. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me today. It's been a pleasure. If you need anything, feel free to hit up the team. Right here, this little contact us button. This guy's going to be your best friend, especially when you're first getting started on the platform. And even if you're not, even if you're a seasoned veteran, if you ever have questions, do feel free to hit up these guys. They are in chat every single day, Monday through Sunday, live in chat, answering questions, all kinds of questions. We do not discriminate when it comes to the type of question that they'll answer. Give them the easy stuff. Give them the hard stuff. They are prepared for all of it. So feel free to contact them if you're curious about anything. If you need anything from me, here's my Twitter handle. My DMs are open. You can contact me if you need me. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. Trade them well. Enjoy your weekend. Get some rest. Do some nice things for your body. Go on a run. Go on a hike. I'm going to probably try and do both of those things. And get your mind right for Monday. We have another week of trading. All right, y'all. Take care. It's been a pleasure. Have a good one.